Greetings and welcome to another edition of Alusine Multicultural Consulting. I want to take this opportunity to thank you for taking the time to listen to what I usually say. My goal is to inform you about what thoughts are from a communicative point of view. Our topic for today has the question, how do we develop relationships? Well, that's a complex question because relationships come in many shapes and in many forms. My essence is to talk about relationships in families, in intimate, in workplace, and in social settings. Anywhere two or more people interact to exchange messages. That's a relationship. The next thing I want to talk about is why do people form relationships? People form relationships for many reasons. One is relationships are needs oriented. Sometimes we form relationships for the need for security, for esteem, for love, and for self-actualization needs, we form relationships. So relationships are needs-oriented. We also form relationships sometimes to exchange affection, which is the essence most people think of when we talk about relationships. They think it's only about exchanging affection. But relationships, in addition to exchanging affection, can mean many other things. Another is you can form a relationship with another person to be sociable. I'm here, so are you. To be sociable, you form a relationship. Another is to teach and to learn. Sometimes in relationships, one person has the skills, another may need. Sometimes we form relationships to resolve conflict. There is a disagreement, you work with the person to resolve the disagreement. Sometimes we form relationships to complete a task. You work with somebody to get the job done. Sometimes we form relationships to heal when one person has issues by listening to them empathically. Sometimes that's a way to heal the other person. So relationships are more than just affection. They can mean many things. The best way to have a relationship is to be goal-oriented, particularly in initiating a relationship. If it's sociable, if it's to complete a task, if it's to be therapeutic, you decide on the goal. People in long-term relationships do all those things for one another. So, in terms of theoretical approaches to relationships, I want to talk about 3 or 4 theories of relationships. One is attraction theory. What makes someone attracted to another in a relationship? Sometimes there is physical attraction, the macho man. Sometimes there is task attraction. You like what the person does. Sometimes there is social attraction. You like the status of the person. So sometimes attraction is one way we develop a relationship. Another theory of relationship is social exchange theory. Social exchange theory teaches us that in relationships we weigh the rewards and the cost. If the relationship costs you more than the reward, there'll be less satisfaction. You want the rewards to optimize the cost. Then there'll be a satisfactory relationship. Another theory of relationship is uncertainty reduction theory. It teaches us that to develop as well as to maintain a relationship, sometimes we have to reduce the uncertainty, the doubts, the fears, the worries, the dealings which we have in relationships. Until you reduce those uncertainties, you don't have much of a relationship. Too much uncertainty, low attraction. Less uncertainty, more attraction. So in relationship, it's affected by attraction theory, it's affected by social exchange theory, it's affected by uncertainty reduction theory. Relationships are also affected by social penetration theory, that relationships go through stages when they are developing, and they go through stages when they are deteriorating. When a relationship is developing, there is the initiation. You test the waters to see if it's Mr. Right or Mrs. Right. Then you move to intimacy. Then you move to identifying each other as a couple. Then you move to, affirmation that you are a couple. When a relationship is also deteriorating, we go through stages. Sometimes we go through the stages of, negatives. You only view the negatives. And sometimes we go through the stages of, you only discuss safe topics. Sometimes we go through the stages of one person takes the couch. Then if it's not resolved, it deteriorates. So social penetration theory teaches us that relationships go through stages when they are developing, and they go through stages when they are deteriorating. So the essence of my talk today has had to do with how we develop relationships. Relationships are needs-oriented. Relationships have goals, not necessarily affection all the time. You can have a relationship based on tasks, based on social roles, based on therapeutic relation. And relationships have theoretical views, attraction theory, social exchange theory, uncertainty reduction theory, and social penetration theory. So whether we are developing, whether we are maintaining relationships, These pointers are useful because they help us to understand not just the content of what we say, but the process and the experiences we go through when we are in relationships. So that's today's edition from Alusine, Multicultural Family Consulting. Thank you for listening, and the goal is to enable you to see from your perspective what works for you. Thank you, and God bless.